How's it going, guys? My name is Bennett Twichell with B Team, and today I'm going to be talking about our tech report 2. So let's dive right into it. So the question is to buy a car or to rely on ride sharing, and this is an ASU student's dilemma. So the problem is transportation at college can be frustrating and intimidating. There's so many places to be. It's brand new world kind of culture shock deal, and you have so little money to spend because you're spending all this money on school. So being economical is very, very important to a student. So the solution is really that there is no right choice, there's only your choice. So we're going to run through some pros and cons of each data, kind of depending on lifestyle choices and whatnot, and like where you are in your college career. And we also have some real data based on real students. We pulled from a pool of real ASU students for this, and yeah. So if you're not familiar with what ride sharing is, we can help you out with that. Ride sharing is going to be a paid service where shared rides are provided on extremely short notice through a network service. And drivers use GPS navigation to take customers wherever they request. So some notable ride sharing services that have appeared over the years are Uber, Lyft, Get Around, BlaBlaCar, and even some specialized services like Veo. For the ASU students' case, we're only going to be looking at Uber and Lyft. So let's dive right into how cost was calculated. So using me for an example, we had this pool of students, and we had them do this every single time that they traveled for an entire week. So using me as an example, I drive a 2004 Dodge Ram. So we're going to take the data from that, and every single time that I traveled anywhere over this week span, I would enter my prospective destination into Uber and Lyft, and then log the expected travel fare for each of these services. And these prices were recorded under the data for Uber and Lyft. I also recorded the distance that I was traveling, which, using the data from 2004 Dodge Ram, knowing my miles per gallon, I would use that to calculate the estimated gas money that I was spending on the trip. And this, along with adjusted costs for my monthly car payment and my insurance, were logged as the cost data for owning a car. So now that you guys know that, let's look at the actual results. So this is a graph of the average cost per mile for an off-campus ASU student. And these are for things to like attend classes, meet their everyday needs. It's a graphical representation of that. So it's price versus mileage. So you can see that owning a car has a very constant slope, but it does not have a y-intercept of 0. And that's because, that's the price of like insurance and like all the costs that come with owning a car. And, ride sharing doesn't have any of those commitments. So, you can see it starts from 0. However, ride sharing, drastically moves up and down depending on like circumstances and how far you're going. And we pulled data from that. So, you can see that it drastically goes up the more and more miles that you're trying to travel. So it seems like owning a car is the obvious answer, but that's not true at all. It depends a lot on your situation. So take a freshman in college, for example. They only have to go like places that are not walking distance, every now and then, like only a couple times a week probably. Like everything that they need is on campus. And, owning a car isn't worth it. That price, that y-intercept that's not 0 is not worth it for them because, they're not going to be using it that much. Like why buy a car if you can, spend less money making 1 or 2 trips a week using Uber? But at a certain point, owning a car becomes worth it. And, the point that we that we found using this data is our recommendation is going to be if you're traveling more than 5 miles a week. So that's our recommendation. Take it as you will. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. But yeah, we're the B team, and that is the conclusion that we came to for whether or not you should ride share or you should buy a car as an ASU student.